I just wanted to talk about Run the Jewels, I think. I want to talk specifically about the mixture of Run the Jewels, or if you know Run the Jewels, being a white rapper and a black rapper. Run the Jewels came about because LP produced Killer Mike's album Rap Music, and at the same time LP had an album, it's either I'll See It When You're Dead or Cancer for the Cure, I can't remember right now and I'm not looking shit up. Afterwards, I think Killer Mike essentially made this happen. He wanted to keep working with LP and he suggested this project where LP would produce all the beats and they both rap on them together. It's a little half an hour thing and it was called Run the Jewels. On that album, which blew up and everyone... One of the things about Run the Jewels actually is they were touring together off the back of Rap Music and they would do half an hour of Killer Mike, half an hour of LP, not sure the order, but then they'd come out as Run the Jewels at the end. And when they came out, they were saying it was like it was different guys that hadn't just been on stage for an hour, because the energy completely shifted. The people were reacting to Run the Jewels way more than they were reacting to LP solo stuff and Killer Mike solo stuff, despite them sounding very similar. The combination was what mattered. And that combination, I think, is because of how rap music works better as a group. And I will probably delve into this later in more detail, but one of the examples of that is De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, Little Brother. These are all great groups. And in those groups, you have generally, not really with De La, but you have contrasting voices. You have, so with Tribe Called Quest, if you've ever seen the documentary on them, you'll know that Questlove sample, Tip is very smooth, Fife is very hype. And I think, I can't remember who sampled that. Someone sampled that. With Run the Jewels, that's still the case. LP has a different sounding voice to Killer Mike, but they also have different sounding verses in terms of the content. On the Saul Williams album, Saul Williams, eponymous, there's a track where he's talking about white rappers. He saw a white rapper on stage and he made this track where the chorus is substitute the anger and oppression for guilt and depression and it's yours. It's yours. Obviously, I say obviously, hip-hop is struggle music generally. It came from that and a lot of the great content in hip-hop. Grassroots underground hip-hop is about struggling through your environment and situation in order to improve yourself. And Killer Mike definitely has that in his verses. It's about environment, it's about external things. Whereas white underground hip-hop, I'm thinking Atmosphere, LP, Aesop Rock, that's more about an internal struggle, and it's about, say Francis, it's about, he's definitely one of these, Bug 65, we could go on. They are all about an internal struggle and about emotional environments within your own head. Run the Jewels combines those often on the same track, always on the same track. So, but one of the great examples of that is the track Early, which is about Killer Mike getting pulled over by the police in a racist police stop that ends with him being executed. And LP's verse is about hearing that gunshot and feeling an existential dread about the situation in the world, whereas Mike is living it. The track I wanted to talk about is A Christmas Fucking Miracle, which sounds like a joke title, and it is, of course it is, but the verses content, the content of those verses is... LP's verse is an internal view of what external forces feel like. He's talking about in that verse, they've got a bevy of imps to spit hatred. That shit will get in your head and cause panic. The powers that be will try and force you into capitalism and a capitalist mindset where you need to be famous, you need to be rich, and if you don't, you're a failure. So in order to do that, they have a bevy of imps to spit hatred. They make you feel scared of other people and they make you feel small in yourself. So he says the line, who are they to just take shit and hoard it? These are the billionaires who are providing this message. I almost said spitting that message, but they're putting that message out into the world. You look at Elon Musk and he absolutely provides a forum for hate. These misogynistic influencers who make you feel like you're lesser than because you haven't, achieved romantically. So they've got a bevy of imps to spit hatred, and that shit will get in your head and cause panic. Have you desperately begging to get famous? Who are they to just take shit and hoard it? Who am I that I don't get my portion? The most impressionable minds get molested in the. What is it? The bit. If you don't know the bit, fucking listen to this song. I'm not here to tell you the whole song. Fucking pause it, listen to the song, and listen to it afterwards. The gist of it is he's saying they can't take the energy inside that you were born with. You have value from the start. You're born with a certain internal value, and no external pressure can take that away from you. You've got that's set. You can take that energy back to your lords and they'll still be impressed with you. And then he says, whatever that lord is, couldn't give a fuck if you ever made fortunes. So fuck anyone ever tried to run that bum shit. Send them to the flames where the orcs live. Them and the lost minds thinking they're smarter than us don't understand love's importance. And we can weaponize that. Anyway. The people that are feeding that fear don't understand love. They don't understand contentment within yourself. They don't understand the possibility of loving yourself. They are all scared, afraid, and hateful. And it comes across in their personality. You can see it. You can feel the energy around them. They are not happy people. The thing fell over. Fuck me. This is the cheat. It's dread. Anyway, what were we saying? We've moved sides. We're now talking about Killer Mike's verse. Whatever. So Killer Mike's verse starts with the beat breaks and my teeth break. But the beat breaks and your teeth break. I believe your canines embedded in my knuckles as a keepsake. It would seem your veneers are just mere souvenirs falling out your mouth and onto the landscape. Me and LP do the secret handshake. Right, that's just good fucking rapping, and it's about punching your teeth out. He is constantly pointing out the struggles of the black experience, and they are different to the struggles of the white experience. And that is the fundamental thing about Run the Jewels that is, I think, so enticing to all sorts of people. There's that line in the later Run the Jewels song that Gangsta Boo says, first of all, they cheating because one's white and one's black, so if you don't like them, you're automatically racist. There's a lot to that. If you don't listen to black rappers, which a lot of people don't, bizarrely, because you'd think if you were into rap music, you'd understand the origins and you'd want to, but a lot of people don't. I forgot where I was going with that sentence. I'm saying if you don't listen to black rappers, you are more inclined to, if it's presented in a palatable way. So with Eminem, one of the things that was palatable about him to all people was like Dr. Dre gave his cosign on Eminem. Dre rapping on Eminem's early songs was not an accident. He could have just produced him, but he needed to be visible and say, like, this guy is on side and he's okay, to bring black audiences along, but also to give white audiences the feeling of like, oh, this guy's got a bit of danger about him because he gets to hang out with scary black rappers. Put all that in inverted commas, I didn't, but and then the same again with Bubba Sparxxx when he came out with Timbaland. And obviously Timbaland doesn't carry the same weight as an NWA. He's a lot more friendly, but it still gave this Southern rapper a credence of this guy's acceptable, and it gave black audiences a way in through Timbaland and gave white audiences a way into another culture. What have we got? 5 minutes. Okay, so Killer Mike, then I might need to pull up his verse real quick. He talks about the environment after the opening, so it's like into the wild. I'm looking at it on the screen. I don't know Mike's verse as well. Into the wild, wild style, ghetto child running wild where the lions and the owls stay. The powers that be even offered up with freeze. He can't fucking not rap this shit. He's talking about his environment, and he's talking about the powers that be. Told us they ain't take us out if we bow to our knees. Now this is fascism right now. You're seeing this with ICE, where they're like, well, didn't you follow the rules? Dickheads. But they're saying, like, if you just play along, then we're not going to kill you. And that is, it seemed possibly at the time that this was an extreme point of view, but we just weren't seeing it daily on our screens. That was happening with police brutality to black people, and we are now seeing it happening to a lot more people, and it's fucking frightening. Anyway, so he's saying, fuck that. They can give that to the kings and queens and the worshippers of idols and followers of things. It's actually linking into LP's verse there. Because I would rather be in the jungle with the savages. It's kill or be killed, and I'm working with the averages. He's talking about violent revolution there. He then has a bit about his mum. That's really nice. Where how you raise a whole human single parent, no marriages, no sense of heritage. Oh, I like that. Anyway, he builds up from there. Name Mike, I was told it was godlike. Even Dance with the Devil came out all right. That's a reference to Dance with the Devil, which is an Immortal Technique song about a gang initiation where the guy ends up accidentally raping his own mother. It's a fucking horrible song. I'm not saying that Mike's saying he did that, but he's talking about he was involved in gang culture, but he came out all right. The line immediately following that is, okay, honor your no way, I still spell America with the triple K. That's a reference to Ice Cube's America's Most Wanted, which is spelled with triple K, but you get it, it's the Ku Klux Klan. And he's saying America is still deeply racist in its structures. Then we end, there's a little bit in between, but I'm running out of time. I've got 2 minutes here. Rest in peace to Pimp C and Camus 2. We Do It For You. That's two of their friends who died before this album came out and were rappers, and they are carrying on the work they did in this song. I want to just quickly point out on the second album, the second track, which I can't remember the title of right now, but there's a line in there where it's the opening line, in fact. LP sets out the stall and reminds us of this song by saying, fuck the law, they can eat my dick, that's word to pimp. Word to pimp. Word to pimp. Pimp C, we just heard that. So fuck the law, they can eat my dick, that's word to pimp. I don't talk like I don't fuck with or talk like all these fucking imps. So we're immediately reminded, but it sets out the stall for Run the Jewels, I believe, to be like, you remember Christmas fucking Miracle? That wasn't a joke. That's the message. And here we go. And then 3 albums of that message. Right, I've got to go to this meeting. So